Saadat Ghraib's home resembles a prison. It's surrounded by this monster's metal fence and suffocated by illegal settlements built on his ancestral land. When he was born in this very house, none of them existed. They were built when he was a child, he says, and illegal settlers have tried everything to drive him out.
If one of the settlers saw my daughters, he would strip naked on the balcony.
Saadat says he has been imprisoned and beaten several times by the Israeli army, who provide protection for the settlers. One incident still haunts him.
The settlers attacked our house, throwing stones and shouting. My little girl was 5 years old. She was terribly terrified. From 8 in the evening until 2 in the morning, she was crying and unable to sleep. She was in my arms, and I couldn't make her feel safe.
The occupied West Bank is home to nearly 3 million Palestinians and has been illegally occupied by Israel since 1967. The hilly land dotted with olive groves would make up the heart of any future Palestinian state. But there are now nearly 700,000 illegal settlers living in more than 140 illegal settlements on Palestinian land, making a two-state solution almost impossible. Israel has built a separation barrier that blocks roads for Palestinians, devouring Palestinian land and cutting families off from each other. Palestinians refer to this wall as the apartheid wall. Then there are also the refugee camps.
Perhaps the biggest phenomenon that reminds us of the occupation on a daily basis is the phenomenon of camps and refugees. As each and every day, it is a difficult life full of misery, and people cling to the hope of returning to their villages and cities.
Palestinian residents of occupied East Jerusalem have not been spared the agony of occupation. They hold Israeli identity cards, which only allow them to travel to the occupied West Bank and Israel. But they are not considered citizens.
We live under the laws of occupation. This blue ID is a transit ID and is considered a temporary residence permit and can be withdrawn at any time. This is preparation for the future until the Palestinians are displaced.
Saadat says the roots of his home run deep and has pledged to remain no matter what.
This house was placed in our trust, me and my brothers. It is a trust that we will not neglect. We leave this house when we die. Everything else is rejected.
But without international protection, Saadat and his family could face the same fate as so many other Palestinians, left to fend for themselves under the brutal Israeli occupation. Mohammad Al-Kassim, TRT World, Beit Jizda, occupied West Bank.